welcome back, traders and degenerates. XRP degenerates. That's what I'm going over today. I want to give you guys a status update on XRP because XRP is looking to do something that it has not done in its history. It is already so overextended. I keep betting against this coin, and it continues to prove me wrong each and every single time. I'm very interested in this move because we had this charted up here. Fun fact, right here is where Dave Portnoy sold. What a coward. The perfect time to buy a weekly hammer candle going into the move into all-time highs on XRP. This man sold. But XRP is in a very unique situation. And it's kind of do or die for XRP in a way. Is it totally okay if it came back down here to retest the top of this channel? Let's say we wanted to draw it up like so. Totally, right? You could totally see a world in which that happens. But what I don't want to happen, I do not want the weekly MACD to curl down and for you to make that move. It would just be disgusting. It would be gross. Because you have the opportunity, you have the setup to do something very, very special on XRP. And it's looking like you're going to, right? You're about to flip green on the daily MACD for the first time since back here. Back here, guys, was the beginning of come on, do the thing. Was the beginning of a 92% run. Filthy. That's gross stuff. I mean, it's beautiful to see that happen. And it's beautiful to see that outside of this wedge formation or outside of this bullish flag, you've now flagged out again. And it's like the bulls are on ultimate parade here because if you get above this long-term macro trend line on XRP, so this was the top back in 2021, this was the top back in 2025, and this is your most recent top. Getting above that would unlock the doors to $5 in my opinion. And why do I say $5? I say $5 because that is your flagpole move from the bull flag or bull pennant here, and that would unlock $5.50, which is almost another 92% move if I'm not mistaken. 81% move. So you can see that the momentum is starting to slow and that you're starting to put in lower percentage highs. But still, if you have the opportunity to make an 81% play on a strong coin like XRP, absolutely I'm going to do it. I wanted to jump into XRP on TradingView because TradingView is a little bit more clear. I don't have the EMAs on here. I just want to look at the chart for a moment and embrace how much of a chef kiss, how much of a Picasso this chart truly is with the flagpole here. There's two different ways you could see this. It depends on what scale of a moon boy you are and what kind of profits you're looking for on this coin. The first flagpole that you made would bring you up to $15. Theoretically, right? Theoretically would bring you up to $15. This one, in my opinion, a little bit more realistic. This is the one that I would be looking for personally, not financial advice, would be you take this flagpole from the ETH all-time high, Bitcoin all-time high, and XRP all-time high. I would expect with rate cuts for XRP to move into that $5 make 'em holler range. And it looks really, really good. The only thing I would say to be careful on, and this has been the case every single time in Dogecoin's history. I haven't backtracked XRP, but you didn't do it here. Or did you? You did it right here. So you had bearish divergence, you then dumped, right? So now we're watching for our next bearish divergence. And in the long-term scheme of this cycle, this is technically bearish divergence right here. because the price made a higher high, but the RSI made a lower low. Although very minute, it is there. So it's something to be aware of that this next run, this might be it. Just something to keep in mind. It's not like it's crazy divergence, probably like you had, let's take a guess. Back here, maybe? No. I mean, XRP with the RSI looks to be pretty strong and looks to be much stronger than Doge. Doge shows weakness and then dumps, which is interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. So RSI not as prevalent on XRP as it is on Doge. We made a video a while back, and I updated the status of it today on what Dogecoin does, how to kind of predict the tops of Dogecoin. Of course, you're never going to get it to a T, but there are signs and macro indicators that show you where these things typically top out. So XRP looks absolutely filthy, absolutely nasty. If I wanted to see potentially the top of this run, I could take doink, doink, and then you might top out around this $9 to $10 range, depending on when you get there, right? But I think for the intermittent, for the mid to long term, this $5 zone would be my price target on XRP personally. It looks filthy. It looks nasty. And I want to take a moment. XRP gang, XRP community, subscribe, come to the channel. We're making bangers on this channel. We are posting stocks, crypto, AMC, GameStop, XRP, Dogecoin, Cardano, ADA, Bitcoin, all the good stuff. And then a couple other stocks sprinkled in there like NEO, robotics, very, very hot tech stocks, and price targets, potential indicators to watch for, right? And it is my goal, it's my journey to kind of inform retail investors who just kind of buy and hope, right? There's no such thing when you're playing with your money of buying and hoping. I want personally to develop a community of like-minded investors who see what I see, who can shoot the you-know-what, and talk about stocks because it's something I'm so passionate about. So drop the like button, slap the subscribe, guys, and I'll continue to cover updates like this because this just looks nasty. And to be honest, the most money I've ever made was from, not XRP, but from crypto in general. So I'd love to continue more crypto. But that is my video on XRP. You could, let me just do one last thing here. Okay. That's nasty. I didn't even see that. Guys. This is why I got to take more time in making the videos. But potentially, right? Potentially the reason you stopped where you did was you bonked your head on a previous uptrend. That meant a lot. Draw that a little bit more crisp here. Wow. That's crazy, guys. So you bonked your head on a previous uptrend that you touched not once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, guys. And the funny thing is that this price target, regardless of how you draw it, right? Let's just take that flagpole, baby, takes you directly to the top of that range. So for me, that makes a lot of sense. And then the bull case thesis would be confirmed if you're able to break back into this uptrend and ride it all the way into almost a rising wedge formation. Wow. I'm a nerd, man. That is cool. That's cool stuff. So you lost support of this uptrend while within this flag because you took so long, bonked your head on the top of it. You're flagging out again. I'd anticipate you retest it again, right? 575. That's your range to look. If you break into it, you unlock the gate to $8. So that's XRP. And I'll continue to cover this because that's fast. Ooh, excuse me. That is fascinating. God, I'm burping up a lot. Fascinating stuff on XRP. I don't know if anyone's covering that. That's very interesting. Peace, guys. God bless. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Get outside. Much love.